shortly is going to be our first keynote presentation, which is the topic, the journey in nurturing Indonesia as a global creative economy player by 2030. A few years ago, just to share with you, I moderated an event very similar to this, and we had a number of key Indonesian speakers from the hospitality industry, from the commerce industry, from the finance industry, and they did say that, look, if you can make it in Indonesia, you can make it almost anywhere around the world, and the bulk of the business is usually in Jakarta. But has that changed? Don't forget, that was a couple of years ago in terms of that conversation, and we are very much now digital, so things are always constantly on the speed, on the move. So one person who can give us a lot of depth to that is a man that we like to call, we've been referring to as Pak Chandra. And Pak Chandra, before I welcome you on our, well, you're already on our virtual screen. That's a very chantik background you have there. So before I introduce you to inspire us with your wonderful presentation, I just want to tell everybody about your background, because you have a very, very impressive CV. Pak Chandra is currently the Director of Interinstitutional Relations, Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, Tourism and Creative Economy Agency of the Republic of Indonesia. He also holds a master's degree in Global Management and Development from Antwerp University in Belgium. And he's also been an advisor to many ambassadors and foreign ministries from around the world representing Indonesia, but such as countries like, I'm just looking at my list here so I don't get it wrong, such as countries in the United States of America and also in Europe as well. I could go on because his CV is very, very impressive. But Pak Chandra, take it away on this very, very cool topic. Please, if you may, the journey in nurturing Indonesia as a global creative economy player by 2013. Over to you, Pak.
Ya, terima kasih, Pak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Sejahtera. Good afternoon to all of you. It is my pleasure to be with you virtually from the enchanting Labuan Bajo. I'm now in a small island that called Labuan Bajo. It is the gateway to Komodo Islands. So you can see my background, the one of the beach in the traditional port in Labuan Bajo that will bring us to Komodo Island and other islands around this Labuan Bajo. I would like to extend my regard and gratitude for the invitation. It is an honor for me to speak about Indonesia's journey on creative economy indeed. And in particular, it's always a pleasure to see my dear colleague Izan and our colleagues from Chandana, and congratulations for the commencement of this event. To begin with, we are looking at how creative economy extending as the cultural and creative industry, or we call it CCI, contributed significantly to the global economy. In its 2015 report, UNESCO, for example, counted CCIs around the continent. It shows that how CCIs are contributed more than 2.25 trillion US dollars. In this regard, we can see how the Asia Pacific region accounted the largest contribution of CCI with more than United States dollars 743 billion. With our diverse, rich multicultural roots, I believe that Asia has the power and should be able to shape the future of creative economy. Next, please. Looking inward, Indonesia is working hard to utilize this sector for a greater good of its people. Reflecting to Indonesia's national medium-term development plan, there are at least 3 indicators that we use as target on the creative economy advancement. The first is the contribution of creative economy to our GDP. The second one, the creative economy workforce. And then the third one is the value of our export. As you can see from the slide, that creative economy has managed so far to put its footprints into the Indonesia's economy. Approximately more than 77 billion US dollar. Uh, that's around 7.4% of our GDP is contributed from the by the creative economy. This make the third Indonesia the third largest contributing creative economy GDP nation after the United States and South Korea. In 2017, our creative exports also reached the level of US 20.5 billion. Uh, in the particular period, more than 17 million workers are employed within the sector. It is important to note, it is very important to note that more than half of the creative workforce is around 54% are women. It is a very encouraging number. Uh, that's also worth to note that Indonesia is now home of one decacorns startup that valued more than 10 billion. That is Gojek. And then we have four unicorns. They are startups that valued more than 1 billion US dollars. We have Tokopedia, Bukalapak, OVO, and Traveloka. Uh, Colleagues, friends, and ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia classified economy subsector based on the previously UNESCO report, which identify additional subsector that's related within the sphere of creativity. So we have advertising to visual arts, from culinary to application development, uh, and in all those subsector, we have three what we call leading subsectors. They are culinary, fashion, and craft. While this is they are the subsectors that are really well developed even before the government intervention. And then we have also three what we call priority subsector, that is music, film, music, and game development. We call these priority subsectors because we give very much focus on these sectors because they have a big potential to grow. So we give them a lot of incentive and facilities to grow. Uh, Next, please, slide number 5. It is worth noting that with the population of more than 268 million people, we have more than 350 million mobile number subscription, or more than 133%. While at the same time, internet and social media penetration has been have been astonishingly active, with more than 150 million users, while the mobile social media users reach 130 million users. If we talk about creative economy, our institutional journey, it means the government intervention in this particular issue or subject begins more than a decade ago, when in 2006, the term creative economy was introduced to the broader public of Indonesia by the then President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. The President instructed the Ministry of Trade at that time to purview the creative economy. Through the Ministry of Trade in 2007, the Indonesia Design Power was established to examine and further study the concept of creative economy. In 2011, the creative economy was integrated into the ministerial level, namely the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, and it was led by Minister Dr. Mari Elka Pangestu, who was appointed to be the minister responsible. In the next period, in 2014, the President Joko Widodo, the current president, realigned the creative economy into one special agency by establishing the Indonesian Agency for Creative Economy, or BCRAF. some people love the name be craft because sometimes they make joke on it. It means that be creative, be craft. Uh, in a national creative gathering on August 4th, 2015, our President Joko Widodo addressed his vision on the creative economy. He said that he firmly believed that the creative economy will become a pillar of the Indonesian economy in the future. Uh, and we need to take a leap from an economy that previously relied on natural resources, agriculture, industry, information and technology, to an economy that is driven by creative industry. If we want, because this is one of the key that we want to compete in the industrial sector, we will definitely lose to Germany or to China. But in the field of creative economy, the opportunity is wide open. This vision actually have been the cornerstone of Bekra Foundation, recognizing that the creative potential of Indonesia should be utilized and monetized, for it will be the next economic resources and moving away from the nature-based resources. Friend, colleague, there are three momentous occasions to identify the foundation of Indonesia creative economy actually. Uh, the first one is the immersion of creative economy into the Ministry of Tourism in 2011. The second one is the uh, President Joko Widodo green-lighted the establishment of Indonesian Agency for Creative Economy. And then the third one, during his second cabinet, that is the current cabinet, President Joko Widodo reattached the creative economy into the Ministry of Tourism. Uh, for us in Indonesia, if we want to acknowledge the potential of creative economy, what we do is examining the value chain of creative economy. That ranges, as you can see in the slide, from the creation to production to distribution to consumption, and at the end to conserve the creative products or goods and services. And then next, we how we see how we approach the creative economy is through their ecosystem, because the creative economy is a very robust ecosystem. Is we view that these elements of ecosystem, from the finance, infrastructure, marketing, and so on and so forth, independent within each other. However, it is also intertwined within three keywords: connect, collaborate, and commerce. Next slide. You can see here several programs that we have from 2015 to 2019. We have more than 40 programs that we promoted around the country. We started the organization with only one people, that is the chairman, Mr. Triawan Munaf. And then in 2019, we were about 600 staffs, from deputy to staff. Most of our staff were millennials, even under 30 years old. Well, I was part of that millennial as well. Most of that program are still running now. But of course, because of this pandemic, we have to consolidate more and more on those programs. That is why we will implement most of the program next year. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, we have participated in many international events during our work in Backcraft. We acknowledge the creative talent and assets, and within our power and authority, we help them to reach the global spotlights. So we brought our talent to South by Southwest, Cannes Film Festival, to London Book Fair, Salon del Mobile, or Game Connection. We believe that the creative asset will be the future of our world. At the same time, we're also conducting several cooperation with our partners around the world, including Chandra, in Malaysia. We are so passionate in mainstreaming creative economy within the global landscape. Uh, there are several intentions that I can mention here why Indonesia taken to fulfill this notion. The first one is to boost the creative economic contribution to national economy. The second one, increasing competitiveness among regional players. The third is internationalization of creative economy and leading as one of the prominent players in 2030. And then last but not least, we'd like to provide medium for research and best practices exchange in creative economy. Uh, in this regard, we have three prominent efforts where we have played in nurturing Indonesia for 2030. The first one, the WCCE, the World Conference on Creative Economy, and its inclusively creative principle. The second one is UN General Assembly resolution on the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development. And the last one is the foundation of Global Center of Excellence for Creative Economy and International Cooperation. And we sincerely thankful to the contribution to the cooperation of Chandra and the government of Malaysia as our brothers uh, to all of those international endeavor. On the WCCE, we are happy to mention here that its aim is to mainstream creative economy issues in the region internationally, and promoting awareness of creative economies, the contemporary economic resources. Uh, it was first held in Bali in 2018, and then uh, it it is supposed to be held in Dubai in this November and December this year, but because of the COVID pandemic, they have to postpone it until next year, so end of next year. But because of the resolution, the government of Indonesia is going to organize this WCCE in May, working together with the United Arab Emirates in Bali. So we will again invite and ask cooperation from our colleague in the region, especially Malaysia. In this next slide, the 16, please. We are pleased to inform you all as well that the UN General Assembly has adopted a resolution on the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development 2021. It was last December 2019. This resolution was initiated by Indonesia as the follow-ups, one of the follow-ups of the Bali Agenda for Creative Economy, and it was co-sponsored by 82 countries, including important creative economy players. It's really made us happy. Uh, in Article 3 of the resolution, we encourage all countries to observe the International Year in order to raise awareness, promote cooperation and networking, encourage sharing best practices and experiences, enhance human resource capacity, promote an enabling environment at all levels, as well as to tackle the challenges of creative economy. The last but not least of the implementation of Bali Agenda that we are organizing now is the GSING, the Global Center of Excellence on Global Center of Excellence and International Cooperation for Creative Economy. It carries the mission in establishing platform for academic and other pentahelic stakeholders to develop, experiment, research, and exchanging best practices and actions in creative economy sectors. So the main focus, the main soul of this organization is international cooperation. So we consider this organization as the collaborative labs. We had a soft launch this organization December last year during the regional workshop, ASEAN regional workshop on creative economy, and we'd like to have a official kick-off, official launch of this organization, but it should be rescheduled because of this pandemic. But So far, even during pandemics, we do several activities already. Of course, it's a webinar, workshop. Do virtual ones. Uh, Colleagues, friends, in retrospective, uh, I'd like to say that Indonesia has taken several national, regional, as well as international to reach the goal of being one of the world's prominent player of creative economy in 2030. It is a long journey ahead as we are envisioning many other international collaboration and cooperation so that the significance of creative economy will be mainstream by then. To end this presentation, I would like again to extend our gratitude to the organizer and participant in this event. I truly believe that cooperation will bring our region to be the most active and leading player in creative economy. Collaboration, collaboration, and collaboration are the keys indeed. Uh, I'm so sorry I cannot be with you all the way until we finish this webinar because I need to have another meeting and then I need to go to Komodo Island. It's only 15 minutes by boat. And if you want to take the whole package, including diving, snorkeling, visiting three pink beaches, the pink beaches, the beautiful one, it costs you only $50 US. So it is so cheap here, and it's a bit quiet because of the pandemic. That is why I have to check one by one the tourism facility here, whether they have strictly implemented the health protocol to mitigate the COVID-19. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Om Santi 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua.
Terima kasih, Pak, so much for that presentation. You gave us a lot of good tips and like you said, collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. So you enjoy your trip. Thank you very much for your time. And inshallah, we'll speak again soon on our next forum. Yeah, take care.
Inshallah. Thank you. Terima kasih, Pak.
Sama-sama.